Good morning and welcome to Gulfstream today on this beautiful Friday afternoon. The sun is shining, the main track is fast, the Tapeta is always fast, and the turf is firm as we are underway. We got the lid lifter out of the way of the Royal Palm meet, and now we're in the second day as we kick off this beautiful weekend, Brian.
It's just going to be about the nicest day for a long time, I think. There's no humidity. The temperature is absolutely perfect, and you couldn't ask for a better first Friday of the Royal Palm meet. Good weekend here of racing, and as Samantha said, we are on the turf for the first time, too, after the overnight range 2 days ago. So we've got a firm turf course for you, and we've got a Rainbow Six that was very healthy yesterday in its initial unveiling after we paid it off.
Yeah, they put a lot of money into it, and today's Friday, so people are getting excited, making some money for the weekend, and good derby preps all around. So today, get involved in this $50,000 in that estimated pool. And these early pick fives have been huge as well, Brian. And like always, you've got the ticket.
Yeah, the rainbow pool yesterday was about $65,000. So that was very, very, like I said, healthy is the word there. The early five yesterday, over $300,000. So we'll take a look at my ticket now. I'm not going to put that much into it today. It's a $9 play. The two what look like the two logicals in the opener, as you can see on the tote board. Back-to-back singles. Starship Nebula is going to be a very short number, especially with a scratch in race 2. Tour of the City, similar in race 3, as Paco Lopez kept on keeping on yesterday in what was his, had a couple wins yesterday after such a strong championship meet, and then a 3x3 late double to get me hopefully out of this. Don't Get Pickled, the 3-horse on top in race 4. Big scratch of a heavy favorite, Wicked Mercury, and in race number 5, the top pick in there. And that is my long shot on the card today. So in race number 5, the long shot is the 7, KC Chief, getting back to the Tapeta for Julie Stormfeld. Hopefully we can eke out around 6-1 in that spot.
Let's get into it. Race 1, it's a maiden $35,000 claiming event. These are 3-year-olds, 5.5 furlongs on the Tapeta track. The 4 and the 7 are both geldings here in this 7-horse field, and both on the 1 Parakeet. First off, the claim for Bobby DeBona.
Yeah, I mean, this is just a very obvious horse.
Right.
We can show a stat here as well. The barn is, I believe it's 4 for 11. First off the claim, Tapeta sprints. To just put it bluntly, there's not a lot here, at least in terms of the afternoon horses that we've seen. We'll talk about the firster in a second. And Parakeet, who ran so well last time on the Tapeta for Wesley Ward, has only run a couple times. Blinkers going, it just kind of all points to him at a pretty short number in here.
Yeah, it really does, and I think you can just cross out that first race because Wesley Ward, I feel like anything past 6 furlongs, 6.5 is a route race for him. So getting back to the sprinting the next time, and now Bobby DeBona's got this horse. This one kind of looks down the road. The 3 Adios Cole. I almost sent you the work to show of this horse because I feel like this could be a bit deceiving. 33-3 last time for
Couldn't
3.
go any faster than that?
Yeah, but this just goes to show. So if anybody does want to look up this work, you see 33-3 and you go, wow, that's blitzing. The horse was in a full-out drive to do it. So there's only as fast as they can go, and he was being asked.
Yeah, and I think, workouts are, this much more than I do because you're an expert at them, but workouts can be tricky because these are all, good racehorses. They're here at Gulfstream Park. They can all work fast if they want.
Exactly.
It's how they do it. And especially on the Tapeta, we have seen this time and time again where horses just work ballistic in the morning.
They do.
I mean, crazy fast in the morning. And that's what Adios Cole did, 33-3. Now, it's a good thing early in the betting, but as I look over there, he's 2-1. That's a positive. The Walensky's have had a very, very good late 2023 into 2024. So, this horse doesn't have to go out there and run an 85 buyer to play here.
No, not at all. And at least we know this horse does have some speed to him. The firster who was the firster you picked for Herm Walensky? Harry something?
Yeah, who literally, I don't know if he's finished yet.
Yeah.
Harry's kin to Harry's on the beach and Harry's on the fly and all that.
These two worked together, but that horse worked really well. So tab that for next time.
He
worked
didn't
better
break
than
that
this one.
day either.
Yeah,
to be
so
fair.
Anyway, just some food for thought in the first race. The second race kicks off the early pick 4. I have got the ticket 5 furlongs on the Tapeta track. This is my best bet, Starship Nebula. Probably some low-hanging fruit, but I just like this horse a lot today. Race 3, a little bit of a spread race in the maiden race. The race 4, the 3 on top, don't get pickled. And in race 5, just too deep, but the 6 on top for me, People Force, a $12 play. And in this second race here, you're seeing it the same way. We do scratch the 3. She's a Raging Cajun. It's a field of 6. And Starship Nebula for Steve Dwoskin, who popped with some big prices during the championship meet.
Yeah, this horse now, she's a Raging Cajun, would have taken a little money for Scott Acker. This horse, I could have easily made this horse 4 to 5 on the line. She's going to be odds on in here because if she runs anything remotely close to her last 2 races, she will not only win, but she will win comfortably.
Yes.
They're just way better than these.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
Yep, they really are. Underneath, we're kind of just spread a little bit. Explosive Exchange taking a drop in class here.
Yeah, I mean, this is Erica Murray's first mount. If you're not familiar with her, she's done some good work at Fairgrounds in the past, so she's going to be here. Chantel Sutherland's going to have her book, so good to see a new face here. And Jorge Delgado's got a couple. She's going to ride this one. We'll see what we get. The drop is stiff. There's no doubt about it. But with all that being said, Starship Nebula is not the type of horse you're typically going to see in this race. So that's a problem for everybody.
Yes. Number 5, Love Paradox, too. They took this horse away from...
some Mad Bird. Isn't that a video game?
Yeah, there's
some Mad Birds
Angry
around.
Birds.
Angry Birds.
Yeah, sorry. There's some Angry Birds
They're live here.
happening. But on the class drop here for Rohan Crichton, from Rohan Crichton now in the Happy Altar Barn, I mean, this horse didn't really run a step last time, and that's a bit concerning.
That's very concerning. It doesn't bother me that she was claimed for a quarter and is going to run for 16. The purse is here. That doesn't really bother me. Hey, Paco gets aboard, right?
That's a big thing, yeah.
That's a positive. But, again, even the race 2 back is not going to cut it here. So Happy's going to have to get some big improvement.
We're going to take a short break. When we come back, Ron Nicoletti, who's back with us all weekend, will have that Rainbow 6 ticket. We'll guide you through it. We'll be right back.
And they're off.
New DRF All Access Past Performances. With one best-in-class product, you now get all 3 past performance formats. Easily switch between views. Access the most trusted information in horse racing with DRF All Access Past Performances. Go to DRF.com and use coupon code ONEFREEPP for a free single card today.
Welcome back to Gulfstream today. Brian Nadeau and Samantha Perry with you on this beautiful Friday afternoon. One would maybe call this a Chamber of Commerce day.
Yeah, Ronnie might do that in a little bit.
He might. But Ron does have that Rainbow 6 ticket here, kicking off in race number 3, the Playbook 4320 play.
He hit it yesterday.
Awesome.
He told me he hit it yesterday. It was a modest score, but he still tripled up on it. So, hey, he's been firing 3,400. Late last week at one point. So here's the standard 43.20. Ronnie, he's in the office getting ready. He lost his best bet and long shot today. So that's probably one of the reasons why you don't see a single in here, and he's a little spread towards the end of the card. I will tell you what, and we say this all the time as we get going, kind of when the Rainbow is in its infancy a little bit. It's not easy today.
Nope.
And you've got a shot at least getting live to a few sweepers in the finale because, the pool, if it's 75,000 or so, you get a couple prices in there and you're going to knock out the competition very, very quickly. And in this opening leg, if they can beat Tour of the City, and I'm not really sure they can, but if they do, that is going to knock out a lot of tickets right off the rip too.
Yes, and let's show the replay here. You brought one up of this horse 2 starts back?
Yeah, 2 starts back because this is the Tapeta race too. Right. Now this race would absolutely wallop the field. And what you're going to see is, I didn't have this as a bad, rail day or anything like that. I thought it was fine. But I I don't really think Tour of the City liked being down in there. And he never really checked or anything, and he might not have won anyway. Bail Us Out, was entered in the Florida Derby, didn't end up running. This is a tough spot to be. You've ridden horses.
Yep.
I never have, but this can't be fun right here.
No, it's not. And especially with the horse that I feel like he kind of creates his own problems, and that was probably his best shot to get it done, and he just had that problem created for him. So he is the horse to beat. I've got the 2 Anointed on top. Exiting a slower race than the Bail Us Out race, but still was a good effort at a bigger price.
First time on Tapeta as well. First time off the claim for Laura Cesaris, who's done a good job and had a nice championship meet as well. So there's plenty of room for improvement here. They all probably have to get to Tour of the City. But, we've talked about this ad nauseum. It's tough to always believe in the figures on Tapeta. And to be perfectly honest, if you don't look at the big number of Tour in the City, they're all kind of right there. The one thing I want to note about Tour in the City, though, because the other Tapeta route was very slow, that big race with the big figure was the first time with Lasix. So I kind of thought I'm going to take that at face value.
Yeah, you probably should. The 5 and the 6, I don't know what to do with these two. They're both Todd Pletcher trainees.
I don't know. We'll show you the stat here.
Yeah.
It's not a huge stat, but you're going to kind of pick up maybe what we're putting down here. 2 for 23, first time Tapeta routes. Now, first of all, Todd's in the Hall of Fame. We get all that. But it's not easy to win a 2-turn race on debut. We talk about that all the time. Neither of these horses brings much of a pedigree to the party. The Dams of the 5 was unraced. The Dam of the 6 was 0 for 1. There's nothing really going on. I mean, the 6 has a little bit. Edgar Zayas is on the 5. I kind of thought maybe that would be the way to go.
I think so, too. There was a work of both of them together on the 23rd of February, and Vino Lux worked better than deleted video. But at the end of the day, I think the word is still out on the Vino Rossos.
Well, I don't think
at least the first crop.
Any doubt about that. This is a tote board race because aside from the 4, no one's in here is going to take a bunch of money. I wouldn't want to look up and see the 5 or the 6 sitting up there at 9, 10 to 1. And listen, I got to say it yesterday too, and it's not because I made a bad line, which in reality I did, but that Stone Street horse that was grade 1 through and through for Todd was 5 to 1 yesterday. And sometimes I made the horse 7 to 5. That was probably too low, but the board will guide you on stuff like that. When that horse is out there at 5 to 1, that is not good.
No.
And that horse did not run at all.
And we said it, too. And you could see it if you could see the horse in the paddock. So that's the
tote board will guide you on stuff like that.
Definitely. And that's a good race. You're kicking off the Rainbow 6. Right. So a good one to check them out. Race 4 kicks off the late pick 5. I've got the ticket. And I don't have a single here either. This was really difficult for me. I tried to force one. I couldn't get it done. Race 6 here. I've got the 2 Sassy Melissa on top. We've got a replay of that race. Race 7. I do have the 5 on top. That is Falfurious. And in race number 8, my long shot is the 1 Cajun's Choice. I could have added 2 more horses onto this ticket in the last race, but this is what I'm going to go down with. Race 4, kicking things off. We scratched the 2 Wicked Mercury, as my partner hinted at, was going to take some money in this mile and a 16th, $20,000 claiming race here. It is a field of 6 now, and both of us on the 3 Don't Get Pickled.
Yeah, I always had Don't Get Pickled on
too.
top. Wicked Mercury was just a little fishy, but she's out, so it's irrelevant now. That Tapeta race 2 back was pretty good. Yep. And that's the race. Now that the 2 is out, who's going to be a strong favorite, it's going to auto default to Don't Get Pickled. It's going to take plenty of money anyway. But now you got Paco, you got the huge Tapeta race and figure 2 back, and they're going to bottom out this horse now.
And I think that there's some speed in this race.
Sure.
Even with Wicked Mercury out, there's still some salt up front. So I think that Don't Get Pickled will probably set a nice little trip. The 5 underneath Sandpiper Memories. We found a good set. Fernando Abreu, who had just a tremendous championship meet as well.
You said it. Don't look at the 15% in 2024. I mean, just look at this now, what's going on here. Tapeta routes in the past 4 months, he's 8 for 25, so that's a sizable sample. He's moving horses up consistently. Now, Sandpiper Memories, conversely, didn't do any running.
No.
last time behind a lot of these gals, so maybe we're going to have to get a little form reversal. But this is now second time in the barn. Maybe he's had her for a little bit and figured her out a little bit. And now Fernando's paired with John of Imaginary Stables to do some good work as well. So, it wouldn't shock me at all if she rebounds a little bit today.
Agreed, and we see that a lot with these Topito horses, just kind of cycling in and out of form. Race 5, it is the start of the late pick 4, and Brian has got the ticket.
Yeah, I do have a single,
Okay,
but
good for you.
It's not easy, that's for sure. And you can see I'm spreading here. My long shot is in this spot here. That's KC Chief. The big spread is in race 6 with the 3 War of Ages. Could have easily been a long shot as well. My best bet is Because the Night in race 2. It's an aggressive one. Okay. Not a lot of turf form. Oddly enough, they're all a bunch of Topito horses trying the green stuff today. So we'll see about Because the Night, who does have turf race. Not the best one, but and in race number 8, I do have the 6 on top Golden Sombrero. And actually, I always did, but there was a key scratch. Unfortunately for you, because there are 2 scratches in here in the 3 Aquarius Moon is going to take a lot of money. That's going to hurt your long shot down on the inside, and that is the 1. Don't forget now, Samantha's long shot in the finale. Cajun's Choice for Ralph Nix.
Race 5 here. This is a claiming $12,500 level, 1.70 yards on the Topito. We've got a clean race of 8, and the 7 KC Chief for you on the class drop.
Yeah, this is my long shot. So you said it on the class drop, not only on the turf, which we're going to draw a line through the turf race last time. I don't care about that. I'm looking at the Topito race 2 back when he came back off a layoff that was exactly 1 year. And he was in for a quarter that day. And the Julie Stormfelt barn's done some good things here at Gulfstream Park during the championship meet. He ran okay that day.
Yes.
And now he's back on the Topita, dropping in half from that race, and I think he's going to fire a good shot in here, although with that being said, it's a very good field.
It is, and he's hard to trust. What version? He's like Jekyll and Hyde. I don't know what version we'll get of him. He'll run like 3 horrible races and then 1 good one. Let's just hope for your sake he's on a good one as well. The 6 People Force, this is another horse on the class drop who, Sand Dancer, that was his 3rd win in a row, that race.
Well, the last 2 races, not only Sand Dancer, but the Be Like Clint race, Spicer Comente, Mr. Crowley, that's a good group too. So he's getting a lot of relief today, no doubt about it.
Yes, he is. The 5 Anesto, we've got a replay of this horse here. He's exiting the Bryce Canyon race, which was a good one.
Yeah, it was an odd one, too, because I said to you, well, we're not going to see Bryce Canyon anymore. I looked like he was going to get pulled up or something. Yeah. Then he actually wins the race. He found himself late. What a cool old dude he is. A lot of back class. You know him so well. Anesto was going to win this race, and he had to go wide. That's not why he lost the race. Bryce Canyon just, hit the afterburners here coming through. What a cool dude he is, by the way. But Anesto ran very, very well. It was a fast race for the level 2, so he's clearly the horse to beat. But that doesn't mean I print 8 deep. He's lost his last 8 races.
Yeah, he's had some trouble with that, and I think he thought he was the winner and started kind of pulling himself up until Bryce Canyon came up the rail and said, not today. So it's a competitive race for the level here. A lot of these horses just kind of take turns beating each other, but look for those class droppers and see who they've been running against. Now, race 6, it is late pick 3, and just will remind you, but now they are $1. The payouts were incredible yesterday. $1 minimum now for these pick 3s, Brian.
Yeah, it's a big deal and big coup for the player. I think it's going to add some value to your picks, and it's going to spice things up a little bit too. So every pick 3 now going forward, rolling pick 3s, of course, until we can't have them anymore, which is the last 2 races on the card, are $1, and we like that.
Yes, we do indeed. Race 6, 5.5 furlongs on the Topita track. These are fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and up, claiming $10,000 level. It is a field of 7, and the 3 who I do not have at all, War of Ages.
I'm taking a shot here.
Okay.
But there's a couple things going on. She came back off a long layoff last time, and Leon McCannis ran her for a quarter. Yeah. And that's too much for her where she is right now. But the thing that I like a lot is that, okay, I don't even care that she was 7th, beating 11 lengths, and actually didn't even beat a horse. She came back with her speed.
That's good.
And that's a big deal to me, because when these, veteran claimers, when they start to go sour, especially the speed horses, they don't have it anymore.
Right.
Well, she's still got the fastball, and I think that's going to play today because she hummed along. She went 21 flat last time. I think that's going to put her in front here.
Yeah, it should.
What that means at the end, I don't know, but she's got to be tighter today, and she's facing softer today too.
She is, and you're trying to stay away from this race. In this race, I mean, the Sassy Melissa Drinks on Me. We've got the replay here, and it's kind of like the gang is all here.
Well, that's the problem with the gang, and that's great and all, but the gang usually takes turns beating each other, and that's what happened here. Sassy Melissa got it done that day, and to her credit, and I was on her the time before, but she got it done that day. I don't want to say I don't trust her or I don't trust this group, but they have a whose turn is it kind of feel to it. Drinks on Me, checking very slightly, nothing going on there.
No.
So I don't know. I want to stay away from it. Simple as that.
Yeah, and maybe Sassy Melissa was a mutter. It was on the Tapeta, but that was a
mutter on the Tapeta.
That was a very,
very wet race.
Yes, very, very. And you said it with Drinks on Me. It's just kind of hard to trust.
Very, very hard to trust. You're going to take underlaid prices on these horses as well. So that's where I said, you know what? I'm going to try to come up with something here.
Yep. Race 7. It is turf race on the card here. The rails are at 52 feet here. The first one of the Royal Palm meet, mile and a 16th. These are 3-year-olds, allowance optional claimers. It is a field of 7 here, and the number 2, Because the Night, on top.
Yeah, this is my best bet of the day. Comes out of a fairgrounds race where Mike Maker claimed this one for 30 for Brad Cox. Now we're going to run for 50.
Yeah.
So that's a positive sign. Mike Maker reads a condition book as good as anybody. If he can move this horse up a little bit, and I don't think he's got to move him up all that much. And here's the other thing. I hinted at it earlier. These are all Tapeta horses, and you're guessing on every single one of them if they're going to handle this green stuff out there.
Yeah, it's kind of hard. I find it a lot easier to find a turf horse when they run on the dirt versus the Tapeta. The 5 Falfurious, who you have a bit lower. The Dam Mistakes place on the grass. I've kind of been waiting for this horse to get on the grass, and the Connections sure have been trying a couple of times out of 5 starts to get this horse on the grass, and now we're going to get it today.
Yeah, they keep betting this horse. We couldn't believe it in the Sharif Ali race why this horse was favored, and quite frankly why he was favored over Swiss Slang last time, who's now won 3 in a row. So that is a good race that he comes out of. It's just a question of, is he going to handle the turf or not? If you say he is, and I believe in you because you're good with that. Todd Pletcher, Hall of Famer, 12% for his turf. It's not a good sign.
Yeah,
not a good sample, excuse me.
That's true. The 7 Private Thoughts has tried the turf before, but never 2 turns, and that's this horse's play.
Yeah, and I wonder if Paco just says, you know what, I'm going to try to pop this field because he's on an outside post here. He chased last time. You said he turf sprinted 3 back. They're going to bet this horse for sure. The Crystal Quest race was a good one.
It was.
And we'll see.
The one Money in Motion, we've got the replay, and this horse actually does have turf experience.
Well, there's nothing to show. There's nothing going on here, but I just wanted to show the one horse that's actually won on turf, and here he is. And I don't know. In theory, he's supposed to be about 9-2 in this race, and you could do a lot worse than playing the turf horse in a spot like this that drew very, very well.
Yep.
Too, he's not snazzy, he's not overwhelming on paper, but he's done it. And no one else here has.
Nope, you said it. It's so true. This was the horse that was breezing with my long shot first-time starter yesterday.
Okay.
That didn't run any good for Trombetta, but that's okay. I do want to mention the 3-team captain for George Weaver. This barn has been on a tear.
Yeah, now this horse debuted on turf. It didn't do any running at 14-1 at Aqueduct, but George has very, very good turf stats, and we're going to get back to it today. Amici will probably put this horse in the race, too.
Yep, and with the rails at 54 feet, you want to have a little bit of semblance of speed.
Agree.
Yep, race 8, it is the finale on this Friday card, a maiden $25,000 level, 6 furlongs on this fast main track. We scratched the 3 Aquarius Moon and 4 Brown Eyed Beauty, and the 6 Golden Sombrero, George Weaver. We just mentioned him, certainly the horse to beat.
Golden Sombrero, you won't know this, right?
No.
If you strike out 4 times in a baseball game, you got the Golden Sombrero.
Oh, I thought it was maybe something you did on like a birthday. You wear a golden sombrero at a Mexican restaurant.
Ball things. We're getting you slowly getting you up to speed.
Baseball
now.
Season. This is way over my head.
You know all the football helmets now, so we'll get on the baseball theme. Okay, this horse woke up on the drop last time.
Big time.
The dirt races 3 of them were against so much better.
Yeah.
This horse might be odds on now with 2 scratches, especially of the 3 Aquarius Moon. And I don't know. I just think he's probably better in this group.
Yeah, it's right there in front of you. I took a stab with Cajun's Choice. Nothing clever other than the fact that this is a barn, Ralph Nix, that is due to heat up.
Yep.
I like the gate work coming into this race. Gonna have to overcome a rail draw, but I like the fact that he's gelded, and we haven't seen his cards. He's the lone first-time starter in this race.
Yeah, and he really seemed to pick it up on March 29th, right?
Yes.
The drills looked, quite frankly, very, very slow
Yeah.
and not any good. And then all of a sudden from the gate, Ralph pops him pretty good there. Don't look at the stats and think, oh, Ralph Nix is 0 for 16. I guess technically he is, but what did he start the championship meet at? 5 for 9, I believe?
Yeah, it was very impressive.
Yeah, so.
So yeah, just it's a tough finale because you also have a couple of horses exiting the same race. It's Breeze the Bayou and Cajun Fool.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do with those two, honestly.
No, and I don't, you don't really have to like that race either. They're
Yeah.
going to bet Cajun Fool with Paco getting aboard, but these 2 horses are now, even Top Maverick is better than those 2 horses.
Yes.
And Top Maverick's on a drop for Mike Lerman, who picked up a win the other day with XY
Yeah.
Speed, so Ronnie's long shot. So, these 2 horses, they couldn't get it done in I'm going to call it a normal 25 claimer. This is not a normal 25 claimer today. There's a couple heavy hitters in here.
Exactly. No pun intended.
No pun intended.
With Golden
Golden
Sombrero.
Sombrero.
There
You
you
catch it
go.
on. There
There
you
we
go.
go. Yeah. That's 8 races on this beautiful Friday afternoon, but don't go away. We've got the lightning round. And coming up tomorrow, we've got 3 different Derby preps, Brian, throughout the country, and a good little $3 pick 3.
Yeah, $3 pick 3. It's the big pick 3. It's got the Bluegrass at Keeneland, the Wood Memorial at Aqueduct, and of course our sister track with their signature weekend, the Santa Anita Derby tomorrow, which came up pretty wide open, I guess you'd say. This is a 19% takeout on this bet, which is as good as you're really going to see on a pick 3. So, and the $3 minimum I think is great. So
It is.
I didn't remember this. I saw some stuff on Twitter, and I think in the release as well, that this is a bet that has been brought back after X amount of years being off. I didn't remember it, but it's a pretty cool bet.
That is cool. Well, your memory is not always that great.
That is fair.
Taste of the Track is coming up at the end of the month here, Brian.
Yeah, and so we're going to bring this back now. If you haven't done it before, it's a heck of a lot of fun. This one is the Rum and Caribbean Festival, and it's up there in the Sport of Kings, right?
No, Flamingo Room.
Flamingo Room.
Yeah,
Thank you. I always get that wrong. And it's really good food.
It is.
And I'm just going to take everyone's word and say that the rum and the tequila and all that stuff is pretty good too.
Yeah, it gets packed up there, so
It
make
really
sure
does.
to get your tickets because they sell out very, very quickly around here. Your best bet today?
My best bet today is kind of bold. I think it's in our turf race, race number 7, Because the Night. Off the claim for Mike Maker.
Mine is in the second race with Steve Dwoskin's Starship Nebula. Your long shot?
My long shot is on the Tapeta in race number 5. There we go. KC Chief getting back to the Tapeta, I think is going to be big for that one.
Yeah, mine's in the finale. Definitely Golden Sombrero, the one to beat, but 15-1 on Cajun's Choice. And then yesterday, Amonra, Brian, was just so impressive.
Yeah, this is Paco at his best here, and he's got it. We'll win. Don't worry about it. I got this, okay? And she won with plenty in the tank. She did get set up a little bit, but Trifaros is good for Terry Pompey, and she's great at stakes plays. So this was impressive, and I think Eddie in the office talked to Safi afterwards. Look at this in a canter.
Yeah.
That's impressive. And Safi said, you know what? We're going to keep her at one turn, and we got a pretty darn good one-turn race coming up a little later in the year in the Princess Rooney. So
we do.
I would think that's a big target with a bullseye.
Yeah, I was very wrong with her wanting longer. I think that she probably surprised Safi a little bit too with how perfect that fit was of the 6 furlongs.
The 6 was going to be sharp, and we know that she's handled a lot longer, so she could really turn into, if she progresses and she's got that confidence boost behind her now, she could turn into a crack, 7 furlong, one-turn mile kind of horse.
And that's good to have your eyes set on the Princess Rooney. That is 8 of them for you today, Brian and Samantha. And, of course, we have Ron with us as well all weekend. We hope to see you out here. Enjoy the beautiful Friday afternoon. Pete Aiello is upstairs. He doesn't have much to do, but he will guide you through the scratches and the track conditions on the card. Best of luck today.